Good wrestling negated by dodgy or even bad finishes, aka the Vince McMahon Weekly 3-hour special. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Raw. There were good elements on the show. In fact, there were some times where it's like, okay, the action, the storytelling, there's some stuff here, and then, oh, they're just going to torpedo it with a really bad finish or roll-up or whatever, and then they're going to do bad backstage comedy, and then the supernatural bullshit's going to come on screen again because we can't get away from this because we're inside the Thunderdome. It's really frustrating because the 3-hour format for Nitro didn't fucking work, and it ain't fucking working for Raw outside of the ad revenue. The product is really suffering. The talents are trying, but they're having to swim upstream, and they're about to be, snapped up by a goddamn grizzly bear known as Vince McMahon, a very disheveled grizzly bear that probably needs to go into hibernation for the rest of his fucking goddamn life. Anyway, Lashley has some ladies with him, and he wants to open up a different kind of hurt business. The almighty hurt cock. Have fun unseeing that. Or have fun seeing that. I'm not here to kink shame. And then MVP's in the ring, and they celebrate. Braun apparently has bad ribs. Nearly, went headfirst on that goddamn dive that he did. Thankfully, Drew and Lashley are professionals and said, hey, Proud Boy Braun, stop trying to do shit. We're going to save your life. Lashley, he did all this with a bad fist, apparently, because he kept repeatedly fisting two thick men. And let me tell you right now, even when you're a thick man, you can only fist, two thick men so often before your fist needs to rest. And maybe you need to fist them again. Be ambidextrous fist. Man, I really had to force that joke in there. And they decided to do an open challenge. MVP is like, hey, anybody want to challenge us? Well, before MVP can finish, Drew McIntyre comes out, and MVP says, no, you didn't let me finish. It's for anybody but Braun or you. So then they briefly brawl because Lashley tries to take a swing at him, and the women seemingly scream from like about 5 miles away because it was very canned screaming. And there we go. That was pretty much the sum total of the, contribution, that the women had in this particular segment. I don't think we saw them again. If we did, I don't fucking remember. So we have Styles with Omos versus Elias with the Jackson Rectionist, a.k.a. Cracker Commander Riker, a.k.a. TNA's Gunner. Yeah, the cowardly fuck. Like anybody that supports the insurrection attempt. You guys are fucking goddamn cowards. You're anti-American twats, and you don't deserve any goddamn happiness at all. Fuck every single one of y'all. So, Elias can work. It's a shame that he has to be saddled with Cracker Commander Riker. There was some good near falls. There was some good action here. This reminds you that Elias can wrestle, despite wrestling in jeans. That proves his talent. He actually did some good stuff here, and Styles gave him quite a bit, and this was good stuff. Riker ends up causing a DQ after that pretty terrific match. And then, he's trying to, he's like trying to act scared of Omos or whatever. He wanted to rush at him, but he can't reach, and also he doesn't want to attack a minority when, the minority's face-to-face with him or looking down at him, and the odds are even. Yeah, because, again, Cracker Commander Riker, like anybody else that thinks like him, they're fucking goddamn idiots and fucking cowards and anti-American pieces of shit. So, anyway, Burke, by the way, called Omos a gargantuan behemoth. I hated the behemoth boss in Final Fantasy II, a.k.a. Final Fantasy IV, a.k.a. why do we have to go to the goddamn moon to finish that game? Anyway, we get various, video packages on NXT. Finally, they're using, like the audience for Raw, as small as it is still bigger than the audience for NXT, to hype up weekly NXT. Why weren't they doing this for during the Wednesday Night Wars? I'm not saying that would have helped. It wasn't even a Wednesday Night War. It was just NXT and AEW going head to head. But they did one for Gargano about the cage match that he's going to have against Bronson Reed. I'm going to say right now, please have Bronson Reed win. Don't have him do a tsunami splash off the cage, for the love of God. Riddle then talks to New Day about pigeon mail never fails. Does Riddle have any idea where he's at? No, he doesn't. Riddle then tries to get New Day and Orton, on the same page because of, last week when Orton took both of them out with RKOs. And Kofi mentions a reptile dysfunction. That's funny. And Kofi and Orton are going to take on each other tonight because it's back to 2009 and also, I think, early 2010 as well as 2019. Can't get away from the past. It's like Days of Future Past. No, not like the movie. Anyway, Alexa's Playground with Natty and Tamina. What's your favorite color? What is your favorite color? This is supernatural septic shit. I hate this. I don't even hate Alexa. I hate this stuff. It doesn't belong in wrestling. And I'm not saying the spoopy characters don't belong. This isn't even good television to me. Tamina, of course, said black and blue would look great on you. Snuka's saying that about various women. Well, at least she's not like her dad, which is a good thing. By the way, Jimmy Snuka's burning in hell, and as he should, because he got away with murdering his girlfriend. Anyway, why was this? What was this? Who was this for? Who is this for? Genuinely, who is this for? WWE wrestlers want you to get vaccinated unless you're like Cracker Commander Riker and you somehow feel that masks are a form of government control or oppression or whatever. You don't know what the fuck oppression is. Just get the fuck out of here. Just quit your fucking goddamn shit. You goddamn idiots. Go get vaccinated. I'm going to get my second shot in a fucking week. Anyway, Garza versus Gulag. Okay, great. We are doing this whole thing with the Rose, but did the Rose get... By the way, Garza won pretty convincingly with the wing clitter. I think I heard that right. And then he shoves his long-stemmed Rose down Garza's throat. Man, he is really peddling this shit. This was terrible. Fucking terrible. Why? What did Gulag do? I got nothing against Garza being pushed. Why? What's going on here? And then Truth got pinned by Tozawa backstage because the 24/7 bullshit just can't go away. Riddle basically, was basking in Orton's golden showers to get, ready for this match. And then Eva talks about picture perfect. 99 times you'll get the bad picture, but that 100 picture will be perfect. Man, less than Eric Watts. And if you know, thank you TNA Creative, Kofi with Xavier versus Orton with Riddle. So, okay, the match was good. It was well wrestled. I'm not going to go over all the moves here, but these two work well together, despite the fact that Orton did essentially bury Kofi at the beginning of 2010 because, Orton just wanted to call him stupid, when Kofi should have been on the goddamn ascent after that Survivor Series 2009 performance. So, Xavier blowing his goddamn tromboner right near Orton, distracting Orton enough because his Viper must be distracted. It's like a Viper charmer. And it distracted Orton, and Kofi gets the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling. Surprise, roll up 1, 2, 3. And then Riddle shoves New Day. Okay, cool. So now we're getting Riddle going heel. You could argue the Riddle's already a heel because not a lot of people like Riddle. Mandy and Dana, Naomi and Lana argue about getting a tag title shot. Okay, Mandy and Dana, if you remember right, actually walked out of getting a shot at one point saying it's not worth it just to humiliate Nia. And then Naomi and Lana have lost various opportunities. So why are they the only team? This is a bad idea. You just should bring teams from NXT, intermingle people, especially since you're still taping in the same location. They won't be in a couple months, but still, what the fuck? Anyway, Charlotte, it's like, I was trying to work a Cruella DeVille thing in here. I'm going to call it cow print. Because that's essentially what her, gear reminds me of. I know it's Cruella DeVille. Here's the thing. Cruella DeVille had charisma. Charlotte really doesn't. She wants a match with Rhea. DeVille says, beat Asuka tonight and we'll consider it. Okay, fair. That's more than fair. So Rhea then calls Charlotte yesterday's news and woofs at her. Okay. I don't think that's having the desired effect they think it is. Natty and Tamina with Shayna and Nia with Reggie. Women's tag titles. Rematch City. Goes 3 to 4 minutes. And suddenly Alexa and Lily, that 5th grade art project doll that looked like it was knocked out in 5 minutes, they show up on the stage and the pyro goes off. Apparently Kane has now possessed Lily and controls the flames. The Kane flames. That's gotta be Kane. And then Reggie gets burned. And then Shayna gets spooked. And then, the heart attack variation. Tamina barely able to hold anybody up. And 1, 2, 3. And then doll laughter. That did nothing for anybody. I'm not saying... Just send Shayna home for 6 months with pay. Don't ever feud with Alexa. You've already torpedoed her credibility. This is just going to finish up. Shayna ain't going to be able to make this work. And I got nothing against Shayna as a performer or Alexa as a performer. I'm not the biggest Alexa fan. This is death. This is not going to work. Ricochet then can't cut a promo. Ricochet, that is. I'm going to call him that until he apologizes for associating with Chase and Rance. He's going to shut him up for good. He stole the hat and jacket. Of course, Creative would have the minority steal from a white man. That's probably what they did. And then Sheamus just destroys him at first. It was a match, by the way. And Ricochet, does battle back and everything. Sheamus, gets his leg almost shattered after a bad Spanish fly off the top. Then we get a dive outside 450 for 2, drop kick for 2. And, then we get a pump kick all of a sudden. Oh no, we're getting a pump kick. 1, 2, kick out. Bit of a ref botch. Bro kick 1, 2, 3. Okay? It was a fine match. I mean, that was actually the only one that didn't really have... Well, besides the ref botch, it really didn't have any shenanigans. And then we get Ascension 2.0, a.k.a. Dio Madden. It was me, Dio, and Dijakovic. Nothing against these guys. This is bad. Apparently, when they said shut it down, they meant the makeup department. So, WWE on A&E this Sunday, Ultimate Warrior. Oh, fuck the Ultimate Warrior. I'm glad he's dead. They are going to retcon this fucking shit. I couldn't wait to fire him. So, I'm not going to review that one. I'm going to wait for Dark Side of the Ring to really unleash about Ultimate Warrior. If you want me to review the Ultimate Warrior A&E documentary, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll put up a poll on Twitter and you can vote. Asuka versus Charlotte. If Charlotte would act like she cares more often, I would actually give a shit. This was a well-wrestled match. Charlotte is a good athlete. Rhea shows up at one point, and we go to break. The match was fine. We get back, and there's violent scissoring going on all over the place. The second most violent scissoring I've seen between two women. You don't want to know about the first, or maybe you do. We get some good exchanges, then some weird exchanges. Charlotte pulled a Tom Zank, and if you get it, you get it. Knee bar by Asuka, some really good submission exchanges. Knee jerked in the ropes. And then we get black screens or whatever. So many black screens that Hulk Hogan called several racial slurs. And it wasn't just me dealing with that on my feed. No, everybody else dealt with that. And then Rhea got involved. In fact, Asuka nearly fisted Rhea, which is something that I may want to see. I would absolutely love to see that. And then she gets kicked off. And then the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling, surprise roll-up inside cradle. But still, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I figured since the referee was there that Charlotte beat up, we were going to get a screw job. We didn't. Morrison was talking about, having his brain picked. But apparently he doesn't have brains, so the zombies didn't kill him. But Miz is gone. Miz is dead. Despite the fact they advertised Miz and Mrs. So apparently Miz is alive, even though we know that's taped. Move on for the zombie stuff, never do it again. I understand it was a tie-in. You can check out my review if you'd like. But I hated that. Priest versus Morrison. Actual lumberjack. Nikki Cross's return to Raw is in a lumberjack match. Why is this feud still happening? The match had some good stuff. There was some good action. Tozawa got tossed in. I thought we were going to turn into a 24/7 championship thing. Sudden Bad Bunny arrival, and he wins the championship and goes on tour with it. At this point, what else could they do? So, needless, just rolling around and everything. Needless brawling. Needless parkour, even though Morrison can do that very impressively. Everybody's just being wasted in this match. Nikki Cross, nobody means anything here. They try to have everybody have their intermingling feuds. And then we get a superplex outside where everybody had to wait about 14 years. Because obviously you want to do it safely, but just you should have botched this, or given up the spot, just not done it. Ali even tweeted later, that's what you all get for waiting outside for so long, or something like that. Fist of Lights, 1, 2, 3. End this. Don't do this feud anymore. Priest said he was going to move on and possibly accept Lashley's open challenge. I was a bit too distracted by Sarah, but that's what he said. Eva says that she's looking to take on teams. I think I heard that right. She's taking one for the team by taking the whole team. It's like the head cheerleader in a college, slasher film. So anyway, Sheldon said, look, if Eva can actually wrestle, good for her. I really don't want to see Eva on television anymore. Sheldon and Cedric have words, and Sheldon shoves him down. Then Lashley's entrance is something else. Lashley with MVP versus Kofi with Xavier. Kofi accepts it. Okay. And open challenge, but MVP says, aha, I didn't say it was for the championship. And it was fresh-ish. They show recaps of the opening segment when they got back from break. While the match is still going on, by the way. Lashley demolishes him. Kofi comes back. We get some good spots where, eventually Lashley tosses him outside. You're not worthy of being in my ring. Xavier gets tossed out for basically trying to, interfere and save Kofi, but interfere nonetheless. And then MVP tries to take his cane. Drew grips another man's cane, jams it into Lashley's throat. And the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling, surprise roll up, 1, 2, 3. Kofi pins Lashley. That's the second time that Lashley's been pinned since last summer. That's saying something. I don't know why they decided to push Kofi all of a sudden. I'm not complaining. I like Kofi. Just a bit weird. Maybe they have this happen they couldn't have that happen at Hell in a Cell, so maybe this is just a stopgap. Maybe we have Kofi versus Lashley versus Drew and you have Kofi take the pin, and then you extend Drew and Lashley once again because Drew's just going to continue to get title shots. And I like Drew. I'm not saying Drew doesn't deserve to be in the main event scene. Eventually, you need to move him on from to something else. Get him out of the main event scene for a bit. Overall, dodgy finish has kind of ruined what could have been at least an adequate episode of Raw. Not bad. Definitely not great, but I've seen worse. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.